Welcome to this broadcast of TCC men's basketball live on TCCeagles.com. TCC facing off in a pivotal matchup against Pensacola State. The winner here will go to the state tournament. If TCC wins, that'll be one step closer to winning the Panhandle Conference. We'll see what Gulf Coast State does today against Chipola. At Chipola, if Gulf Coast State loses, TCC wins, the Eagles will be the Panhandle Conference champions. But today, we're focused right now on Pensacola State versus TCC. And Tony, we're excited here. Eagles 24-4, and they're doing on fire, and they have not lost a conference game here at home.
It's been a stunning season for TCC. We were a little nervous last time out at Northwest Florida State, but
TCC coming off a 70-67 win against Northwest Florida State at Northwest Florida State. Pensacola State taking it to the rack, and it is knocked away. Steal by Eric Hester. Ellis will bring it up the court. Tony, big win by TCC against Northwest Florida State. As you said, not on their best night, but they pull out the victory, and they have the Panhandle Conference in their hands. They control their own destiny. Hester for three. Yes, that's a good start.
Well, there you go. Nothing like an Eric Hester three from the left wing to get you rolling on sophomore night.
Hester shooting 49% from beyond the arc. One of the top sharpshooters in the country. Ellis will bring the ball up. He's manning the point. They'll go into Miguel. Miguel's had that all day. Hester pump fakes. He'll bring it back out. Back in to Ryfin. Ryfin clearing out. Thinks about going up. Puts it up and in. Tie ball game, 7-7.
Ryfin Miguel, too big, too strong. 4 points for him early on.
We'll give it over into Guest. Guest gives it to Stevens. Stevens will attack Rosario. Up and under. Doesn't get it to go. Rebound. Up and in. Jordan Guest making an impact right away.
Offensive putback from Pensacola State as Ellis hands off Stevens.
Into Golson. Golson going up and in. Nice set play there. The screen over on the baseline, and Guest with the good eyes to throw that one down low in the post.
Yep, credit the assist off the screen, the backdoor cut. Got to win this one. Need to win this one. They're off to a good start, though, up by 7 out of the media timeout.
Hester with the ball, finds Guest. Guest for three. He's made an impact. 3 for Jordan Guest. And now the Eagles back up by 10, but Guest coming in and playing solid with Ryfin Miguel out.
2 of 2.
Hill trying to find an area. Golson lost the handle, goes into no man's land. Swinging across. Guest straight away 3. Yes, he's on fire! Jordan Guest from beyond the arc. Eagles up by 12.
10 points for Jordan Guest in about 4 minutes.
And you can tell from him just coming in, being physical on that defensive side, but he's just ready to shoot.
Heat check! Heat check!
Hello! Why are you giving him any space? He makes another 3. Eagles up by 13. Timeout, Pensacola State. And the Eagles are on their feet here in the Eagle Dome.
Jordan Guest!
On Pensacola State in their offense. 5:30 left, Ellis. He's been somewhat quiet today. Like to see him get the ball in his hands a little bit more. They haven't really needed to as Davon Stevens drives in, up and under and in.
Tough play, reverse layup for Davon Stevens. 5 points for him. The Eagles up 12.
Into Tariq Silver. Silver into the corner. Stevens for 3. Yes! The Eagles shooting lights out from beyond the arc. The lead is 15.
7 of 12 from downtown is basketball. They're showing off tonight.
Oh, travel. No, they don't call it. Into the corner. 3, Pensacola State. Good answer.
It's had for the best part of this first half. 2 minutes left. 10-point game.
Guest, he'll try that. Deep 2. He's on fire, man. You just can't stop him. 15 in this first half. Welcome back to this broadcast of TCC men's basketball live on TCCeagles.com. Luke Fay alongside Tony Jobson. And right now, we will kick it to our halftime interview we have with Zach Settembre prior to the game.
All right, Zach, 70-67 win over Northwest Florida State. A little bit closer than you would like, but going into this game and Looking back at last game, what did you see from that performance?
I thought Northwest Florida played great. Certainly a very big win for us just because they're hard to get on the road. Wins in this conference are tough to get on the road, but for us to be in position to dig out of a halftime hole, they shot 7 for 12 from 3 in the first half and 10 for 20 from 3 for the game. They made 50% of their threes. Proud of our team for competing and getting out of a hostile environment with a big road win, one we had to have, one in which we had all the pressure on us. They had no pressure. When you're 0-10, they played with tremendous pride. It was their sophomore night. Just proud of our guys for finding a way when we didn't bring our best stuff to get a win. It was not an easy game, but for us, I thought staying together late in the game, we dug deep and found a way to get out of Raider Arena with a big win.
How has your defense carried you guys the last couple of games?
Certainly the second half at Northwest Florida and the second half at Pensacola, the last 2 road games that we've won by 3 and 1, we've had to depend on our defense to get big stops late in the game. We're a defensive team. Obviously, we feel really good about the offense that we run and the players that we run it with. But I think if you're going to win a national championship, if you're going to win the Panhandle, if you're going to have a chance to win the Region 8 tournament, you have to be a team that can get stops. You have to be a team that can look at each other in the eye and go, hey, man, we're in a position to win this game if we can stop teams. We call them kills. 3 possessions in a row, we call it a kill. Those are our things we just try to emphasize to our guys. Look, 1 stop at a time. If we can get 3 in a row, we can make a little bit of a run. If you can get defensive stops, you can win. Even if you're not, just like the Chipola game, right? We struggled early in that game offensively, but we only gave up 52 points and gave ourselves a chance to win when offensively we obviously didn't play our best.
We began to see a 1-3-1 from you guys in conference play. What brought on that?
We have good length. Davon Stevens is a guy that played zone at Eastern Michigan last year and knows how to play zone. Tariq Silver is also another guy that understands how to play zone. They play 2-3 there, but similar principles. Just giving a team a different look, I think, has given us an advantage, a chance to change defenses here and there. We're a man-to-man team. When it counts, we're going to be in man-to-man. But I think anytime you can slow a team down, especially if they're getting into a rhythm against our man, the zone has helped us just basically throw a wrench at the team and try to slow them down a little bit and make them uncomfortable. So the more you can make junior college players think, the better.
Looking at today, you're playing Pensacola State. What makes them different than all the teams you've faced in conference play this year?
Pensacola is a team that, first off, really well coached. Pete Payne does a great job. They play a lot of zone themselves, so they're constantly changing defenses. They play zone, they play man, they'll play a matchup. Shondarius Cowart's a very good point guard. He's a great rebounder. He probably leads their team in rebounds, and he's a guy that, just is a very versatile dude. He can guard really every position on the floor. Is great getting downhill with his right hand. Carlos Rosario's a returner they have that, very productive in the post. They're a team that they're just funky to play against. They're a team that's going to zone you. Coach Payne does a good job of keeping us on our toes, and sometimes our guys can try to figure out what defense they're playing instead of really just playing, being basketball players. And we've encouraged our guys not to spend so much time mentally on trying to figure out what they're doing. Let's just run our stuff that we can run against man or zone and run it with some efficiency and keep the ball hot, and we'll have some success.
You're off to the best start in TCC men's basketball history for a first-year coach. Going into this game, you know how important it is. What would it mean to come away with a victory here?
Luke, for me, just trying to win one game at a time. First year, second year, 748th year. We're just trying to win one at a time. We got a chance to win the Panhandle Conference for the first time since 2006. To do that, we have to win tonight, and we have to win on Saturday. I know the other game has some implications, but our focus all year long, since we got beat at Chipola, we had a very long team meeting after that loss when we had dropped 2 in a row and we're 3-2. We said, we're winning 7 in a row. We're 5 out of 7 there. We know this is a big week. It's a big 4 days coming up for us, but we're ready. We've put in a tremendous amount of preparation for this game. Our guys know that sophomore night's an emotional night, but also a chance for us to come out and beat a team for the 3rd time, which, again, not easy, but we've beat them twice. We know what it takes. We have a good game plan. I think that we've made a few adjustments here and there. We just got to go out and perform well, play our butts off, and get one win closer to ultimately winning a conference championship and putting ourselves in a position to be the number 1 seed from our conference in the Region 8 tournament, and then hopefully be in a position to get an at-large bid to the national tournament.
Well, thanks, Zach. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Luke.
Wasn't fantastic, if we're being completely honest, but you know what? If they play like how they did for the first 18 minutes, if they can continue to get that production out of Jordan Guest, who's got 15 points, 3 rebounds, and an assist, if they can get that production, get El Ellis going, get Tariq Silver going, get Eric Hester to continue with those threes, plus the defense.
Yeah.
Can't forget about the defense. The defense has been really good. If they can continue that, I think they got this one.
Tony, 42-33. Eagles up by 9. Jordan Guest really was the catalyst for that first half. He came in on fire, was able to make his first 4 shots before missing one. But really looking at this, Tony, it's something that we didn't expect, especially with Raif Miguel starting the game out so well, but then he goes down with a knee injury. It doesn't look, looking at the bench right now, doesn't look like we'll get him back today.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't think so. Needed assistance going into the locker room. Hopefully Coach Zach after the game can give us a heads up on what he's looking like. But yeah, Jordan Guest, 5 of 5, 3 of 3 from downtown to open up. Ends up 6 of 7 from the field. He's been fantastic today. He stepped up when we've needed it. Davon Stevens has come well off the bench with 5 points as well. You've got the likes of Calix Stevens, 5 points. You've got 7 out of DeAndre Golston. It's been a really solid, good team effort. But in saying that,
how about Carlos Rosario with 11 for Pensacola State?
You're stealing my thunder. I was about to bring him up. 11 and 5, 2 offensive rebounds. You got Bryce Waterman and Rodney Smith as well with 9 points apiece. A bunch of 3-pointers there. What are they? 6 of 11 between themselves. What can we? There's not much else you can say about that. It's very tough to defend 3-point shots. So Chipola over there helping us out a little bit with a 10-point lead over Gulf Coast.
Yeah, 21-11 right now in the first quarter through 12 minutes as Jordan Guest rises and he'll throw it down on the follow. No one was covering him, not even close, Tony.
He was in cooey. There was no one within miles.
44-33. What has been a pretty tight contest until TCC opened it up in the final 10 minutes. Pensacola State was able to close, making a 9-point deficit. Now they're trying to cut back into that lead as that 3 will go. Now only down by 8, Tony. Clawing their way back in.
Adrian fakes in the NJCAA. The Silver 3. Bingo!
Finally able to knock down a 3. And Silver will get on the board with 3 points. Quickly going up the court and able to lay it in. Pensacola State's Cowart streaking down the court. And just like that, it's a 7-point deficit for Pensacola State. You couldn't even lift up your head and they were already scoring. Need some energy here. Jordan Guest has provided a lot of it throughout this game. You can see him crawling in his hands, communicating. That one's almost poked away by Ellis from behind. Cowart goes right into Guest. Late foul call. Guest standing straight up. That was a late foul call. I don't think that was very much. And let's see. Jordan Guest now with his second foul.
No, that's
his third. Free throws is a 5-point game. Ellis needs something from him. Like I said, he's been quiet. Someone needs to drive into the basket here. Ellis, he'll try a 3. Yes! Hell, Ellis from beyond the arc. Not what we were asking for, but hello. Down, comes around the screen. Throws it over to Hester. Hester into Davon Stevens. Stevens going up, gets hit. And one! Davon Stevens gets the roll, and the Eagles up by 6.
Big time by Davon Stevens. You can hear the slap.
Welcome back to this broadcast of TCC Men's Basketball live on TCCEagles.com. Looks like we'll see Pensacola State shooting 2 here and shooting 2 from now on, Tony.
Yeah, 10th foul with 11:37 left. Foul trouble for the Eagles. Let's have a look. We've got Jordan Guest with 4 fouls, Tariq Silver with 3, 2 apiece for DeAndre Golston.
419 points this season. That leads the team. Leading scorer for TCC is Bootsy Thornton with 1,374 points as that 3 falls.
Wow. 1,300. Holy smokes. Unless L can come back next year and score, 30 plus a game, that might not be in trouble anytime soon as Stevens can't get that one to go. Calix
getting grabbed. Silver attacking a hush over the Eagle Dome right now.
We just need something. It doesn't matter how it comes.
Need a field goal. Ellis, he'll attack, he'll go up, and he'll make it. Eagles up by 4, and I've been begging El to do that all game. Finally gets the opportunity.
Second Eagle in double digits, El, now with 10.
Not going to go, Ellis. It's a 3-on-3. El sizes up his man, gives it over. Tariq Silver, straightaway, 3. Not going to go, rebound, Davon Stevens.
Big time rebound from Davon, gives it inside. Silva driving in, Guest, and that will come off. Ooh, yes,
yeah,
okay.
It was off. It was off of Guest's leg, then off of Williams' leg.
Let's see what we can do here. Tariq Silva takes the point on this one.
Attack. Need to attack here.
3-2 zone. Silva wide open off the pass. Yes, Tariq for 3.
Huge shot by Tariq Silver right when Pensacola State is cutting into TCC's lead. It was a 2-point game, now up to 5, and the crowd's in it. But the last conference championship was shared in 2006 with Chipola. If you look up in the rafters right now, that was the year that TCC lost in the national championship.
Let's see if they can do one better this year and win themselves an outright conference and an outright...
Galix goes right to the rack, and he'll lay it up and in.
Speaking of outright, Calix Stevens outright dominant driving in from that left corner.
He was left wide open on that baseline after the pump fake.
Themselves good looks.
Silver gives it to Stevens. Stevens, a 3, straight away, yes! Calix Stevens puts the Eagles up by 5. Right when Pensacola State cuts it to 2, the Eagles counter with a 3. It seems like it's happened over and over and over again. Right when the momentum is shifting, TCC able to take it right back.
Ebbs and flows, it's all happening. The Panhandle Conference, no game is a gimme every game. A tight, tussling, bustling contest. We'll go into the break, 3:49 left, the Eagles up 5.
Under a minute to play here, but you got to attack. Don't hold it down till the last second. We've seen that happen in the women's game where they worked a little bit too much clock. Take what you can get from them. 10 seconds left here. On the shot clock, we'll see a screen by Stevens.
7 on
Double
the shot.
team. Golson goes in, up, and in! Able to lay it in on the block. The Eagles take a 6-point lead, under 40 seconds left. Championship as that's swatted away. DeAndre Golson rises up, blocks it. 10 seconds left here.
Gotta take
Smith,
it.
he'll take a 3. That doesn't go. And a rebound. Davon Stevens, Ellis, he'll bring it up the court.
Guess who's going to Niceville?
A 360 dunk by L. Ellis won't count, but the Eagles are going to head to the state tournament in Niceville. Depending on what happens between Chipola and Gulf Coast State, a possible Panhandle Conference championship. A huge win for TCC, and you can tell Coach Settembre is smiling on his face with that 73-65 win. A gritty victory, Tony.
Big time win. The Eagles, they were struggling for a lot of that second half, came down to within 2 points after having an 11-point lead early on. But the Eagles able to take the ebbs and the flows, able to get the win, and no matter what happens from here on out, Luke, we're going back to the state championship.
Well, Tony, the Eagles are 11-3 as a 9 seed nationally. They were a 9 seed today, able to get the victory and continue that great win streak at home. They've only lost one game, which was against Georgia Highlands at home earlier on in the season. They improved to 13-1 at home, 9-2 in the conference.
That's a big time win. That's a huge win for TCC. 25-4 now. Overall, one of the best records within the NJCAA Division I.
Tony, this is the first time that TCC has swept Pensacola State in 3 years. It happened in 2017 under the Mark White regime, and I'm sure Coach Settembre will tip his cap to Mark White, who brought him here to Tallahassee and really started this great run. As I mentioned earlier, Zach, the winningest coach in TCC history for a first-year coach with that 25th win. It was just a great performance by TCC. They were able to hang in it when they didn't really have it the last 10 minutes.
It's just the different players, different different players coming on and making an impact. You have Jordan Guest leading, or tied for leading all scorers today, with 17 points and 5 rebounds. You had DeAndre Golston, 13 points, Caleb Stevens with 12, L with 10, and I know I'm talking a lot about the starters here, but then you have players like Davon Stevens, 7 points and 6 rebounds, and some huge defensive plays, a couple of big knockaways. Yael Hill didn't contribute a lot on the box score, but shut down defense. He was massive in that regard. Eric Hester, the same thing, some shutdown defense, even though he was only 1 of 8. And that's not even taking into account the fact that we lost Ryford Miguel early on.
Yes.
We lose our big-time starting center, the man who has offers from Jacksonville State, Portland State, Ohio University. He goes down, and our bench steps up in a big way.
Yeah, Tony, TCC able to get this win, and it is a huge win. Their 6th victory in a row after they dropped 2 in a row in conference play, Tony, against Gulf Coast State and Chipola. Able to battle back, win 6 in a row. They'll play 1 more against Gulf Coast State Saturday night. But right now, Tony, you got to relish in this victory, especially given that TCC was led by Jordan Guest with 17. He had 15 in that first half. Eagles pick up 4 fouls with Guest and Tariq Silver able to navigate the end of the game without having them foul out. And really, the second half, not a pretty one, but TCC comes away with a victory.
You take it how it comes. You take it how it comes. That's what a good team does, even when they're not playing at their best, even when they're not going, and having a perfect full 40 minutes on home court. They're still perfect in conference play. They get that win. They get themselves a berth to the state tournament.
Tony, just looking at the stats, TCC with 12 of 29 from beyond the arc. They shoot 41.2% on the season. They shot 41.3 today. And I hate to say, but, that could have been the difference at that point, that .01. But TCC taking the victory, and you got to be excited. I know that Zach's going to come up here and sing some praises, but let's tip our cap to the sophomores here on sophomore night.
Let's be real. It's almost a very seasoned team. You have Davon Stevens, Yael Hill, DeAndre Robinson, Caleb Stevens, Tariq Silver, Eric Hester, DeAndre Golston, Jordan Guest, Ryford Miguel, and Golston and Guest, much like Rochelle Jacob did for her sophomore night earlier on for the women's side, stepping up when we really, really needed it. Caleb Stevens, who's committed and signed to Indiana State, he stepped up in a big way. Defensively, Davon Stevens, again, stepped up in a big way. What can we say? We can heap all the praises that we want about anyone on this team, but to the sophomores that have come in, created a fantastic culture within the ranks of TCC. They've created this fantastic vibe, a big-time team under Coach Zach Settembre. Is that the first 25-plus win season for the Eagles under a first-year head coach ever? I'd love to know what the record is for all-time wins in a season.
That's something that we'll have to look up. But we'll step aside real quick, get you some stats, final game stats, and then we'll come back with our interview with head coach Zach Settembre as TCC clinches a berth into the state tournament after a 73-65 win over Pensacola State. All right, Zach, move into the frame here for us. Luke Fay alongside TCC men's basketball head coach Zach Settembre, who you guys just won 73-65 against Pensacola State. You clinch a berth into the state tournament.
Excited and proud of our team. We had a lot of adversity. We had a lot of things that went against us tonight. I can't comment on them because I want to keep my job, but really excited about our team and how we fought, and we had all kinds of opportunities to fold tonight, and we didn't. And I'm really proud of them because early in the season we had a tough game against – we're good, thank you. We had a tough game against Miami-Dade, and they got us. They came back, and we – they seized control of the second half, and we let them have it. Tonight, Pensacola State made a big run, coupled with some other factors, and we stood strong. And I'm really proud of our team. I'm proud of our staff for keeping everybody locked in and engaged. We lose Ryford 4 minutes into the game. We'll get some more information and news on him tomorrow. Jordan Guest comes in and has 15 points in the first half. DeAndre Golston was unbelievable. Tariq Silver had 2 huge second-half threes. So proud of Tariq. All of our guys, outside of Jordan Guest, who had a terrific performance tonight both on the glass, played with 4 fouls, played great defense with 4 fouls, to have 17, 15 in the first half. Ryfin goes down, he comes in, makes big-time shots. L. Ellis had a lot of points, big, late, big situations, huge 3 to sort of stem the tide. Davon Stevens, can't say enough about him. Again, the numbers don't show it, but this guy is so tough, so huge. I love our team. I love our team. I hate that one
man goes down and you see Jordan Guest step up. I mean, there was foul trouble with TCC that they had to navigate throughout this game, but looking at the gritty performance down the stretch, you guys were able to hang on and hold true knowing how pivotal this game was.
No question. We've told our guys all year, we hold a team to under 70 points, we will win. We're undefeated when we hold teams to under 70 points, 69 points or less. So we know our answer to everything is stops on the defensive end. We struggled with ball screen coverages early. They made 6 threes in the first half. We were, tagged. Do I tag on a shooter's side? We got a little bit confused. Our coaches, we tried to implement some new stuff, which was a great idea, and I personally, as our head coach, didn't do a good enough job of making us understand it in practice. So I lost faith in it pretty quickly early in the game and went away from it. So we went back to what we do normally on ball screens. But we didn't shoot a great percentage. We played a really good team, a team that's well coached, a team that's got big-time sophomore leadership with Shondarius Cowart and Carlos Rosario, who had big games. But we forced their best player into 8 turnovers. He had 5 in the first half. He had 10 turnovers the first time we played here. That was a huge deal. And the other thing is we only held them. They had 3 threes, 3 for 10 in the second half.
Zach, when you took this job, your goal was to get to the state tournament, obviously, ultimately the national tournament. You get that first step, but you were led by your sophomores today. L. Ellis, he played very well, but it's sophomore night. You guys were picked up. Can you talk a little bit about the sophomores and what they've meant to this team?
It's been really a lot of time, a lot of effort into this, building this team. I'm emotional because this was a hard win. This was such a gritty win. I'm so proud of our team.
Last year we were against Northwest Florida State. You got that win, and you said that was the one that got you the job. Sitting at this moment, it's the last game of the season, and you're right at what you were trying to accomplish.
Our sophomores were great, top to bottom, every single sophomore. DeAndre Robinson hurt his knee early in the season, and he has not been playing. And he has not sulked, and he hasn't felt sorry for himself. He's been good in practice every day, and he's going to be a Division I player. Josiah Mitchell has 3 years to play, will be a 4-year school scholarship player. Did not play tonight, brings it every single day in practice. Every single sophomore on our team has made a difference. The team that won tonight, this TCC team, was again a team of balance. A team where if you take option 1 away, who's our leading scorer, L. Ellis, take Tariq Silver, who had no points. We had 3 points between our 2 leading scorers at halftime. And we had a huge lead. We had a 9-point lead. Should have been 13. We had 2 bad possessions the last 2 of the first half. I'm just proud of our team because there's been a tremendous amount of belief from Rob Cheney, from Dr. Murdaugh, Dr. Rowan, Madeline Pumariega, our entire administrative team, Greg Rowan, who's around our program and always just trying to make a positive impact. Everybody around our program, you guys, Luke, you drove to Niceville the other day to watch us play. You didn't have to do that with your Saturday night. So we got a lot of people around this program that care about it, that want us to be good, that support us. And I'm happy for them, and I'm happy for us, obviously, as a team. But this is 2006. It's been a long time. I was a sophomore in high school the last time TCC won the Panhandle. And by my hair, it probably looks, like I was 30 then, but I'm actually will be 30 this year, right? So it's been a long time. We want to do something that we haven't done in a while. So we're 1 win away. Regardless of what happens at Chipola Gulf Coast, we don't care. We know if we're going to get an at-large bid at the national tournament, we need to be 10-2. We need to be 26-4 going into the state tournament. We need to get to the championship game, beat Florida Southwestern, and we need to cut another net down. Hopefully, we can use this as some motivation to. We'll have an off day tomorrow. We'll watch a lot of film. Friday will be a practice day, and we get on the bus. We know what we have to do. Gulf Coast is going to be a dogfight. We know it's not going to be easy, but we have the pieces to do it. We just have to go do it.
1 year ago, you beat Northwest Florida State. Today, you beat Pensacola State
73
to 65. You're undefeated on sophomore night.
Undefeated on sophomore night, right.
Zach, we got your record at 15-2 at home, including interim. So dominant performance here at home, and really you guys have been dominant ever since. We go back to that interview that we just had earlier today. You said that you were going to try to win the next 7 games in a row. You got through 6. You're headed to 7. What's it going to be like going against Gulf Coast State, and everything really going to be on the line there regardless of what happens tonight?
We know how tough they are. They're a tough-minded team. They really guard you. They never for 1 second let you breathe. We'll be ready. They got us. We had a 14-point first-half lead, an 8-point lead in the second half. Let it get away. They're a good team. Teams that are 7-3 in the Panhandle are good teams. We know that. Coach Scott Jackson's done a great job as the interim. Phil Gaffney, obviously, Coach of the Year in the Panhandle. He gets my vote for the job he's done at Gulf Coast. We know how tough it's going to be over there. We know there will be other circumstances that the first time we went over there it was tough. I'm just proud of our team that we found a way, again, in a game that we had every reason to say, you know what, you guys can take it from us. We don't want it that bad. And we didn't. We overcame so much adversity tonight, and I'm proud of it.
Well, Zach, thanks for joining us, and let's get that win at
Yes,
Gulf
sir.
Coast State
Thanks,
on Saturday.
Go Eagles, guys.
Once again, Luke Fay alongside Zach Satembre. Great win for TCC. They end up beating Pensacola State, and we'll see what happens against Chipola. It's 65-53. The Eagles need Chipola to win this, and they will win outright in the Panhandle Conference for the first time since 2001. So a lot happening tonight, but the Eagles get the victory against Pensacola State. That's all that matters going into the rest of the season. They'll play against Gulf Coast State on Saturday at Gulf Coast State. It'll be an 8:30 tip. Central Time, it'll be 7:30, so hopefully you'll be able to tune in there and watch that. But TCC gets the victory. Zach Satembre, 25-4 this year. Got to tip your cap to the Eagles.